Bobby Nahum, East Call Street. Over the past several years, Leon County schools officials have made public statements indicating that the new turf fields at the 5 high schools would save taxpayers money since they have a lower annual maintenance cost than the old grass fields. Over the past several months, I've made a series of FOIA requests to obtain information needed to accurately determine if the new turf fields will in fact save taxpayers money. All the records I obtained were provided to me by Leon County Schools, and I even went a step further by speaking to the appropriate project manager at Leon County Schools to verify these cost figures. Here's what I found. The total upfront cost of the new turf fields at the 5 high schools combined was $8.99 million, which is about $1.79 million per field. The total cost of maintaining the old grass football fields at all 5 high schools combined was about $180,000 a year. The total annual cost of maintaining the new AstroTurf fields at all 5 high schools combined is about $20,000 a year. So the annual savings and maintenance of going from grass fields to turf fields at all 5 high schools combined is about $160,000 per year. When you plug in the $160,000 annual savings into the $8.99 million upfront cost of the turf fields, you get a break-even point of 56 years. This means it will take around 56 years to recoup the initial cost of the turf fields. The problem is that the turf fields only last 10 to 15 years. The warranty from AstroTurf on these fields, which I have a copy of, is only 8 years. The money spent on these fields will never be recovered, and after 10 or 15 years, Leon County Schools will have to spend another several $1 million to replace the fields again. To make matters worse, the public has not been accurately informed about these costs. Over the past several years, there have been several misleading public comments made about the upfront costs and cost savings of these new turf fields. The most recent public comment was made 3 weeks ago by Scott Hansen in a July 20th article in the Tallahassee Democrat, where he said, and I quote, "The cost is a benefit over about 6 to 7 years. They end up paying for themselves because you don't have to do maintenance and everything that you would have to do with grass," end quote. The article also stated that the fields only cost $1 million each. Again, the real cost of the fields were $1.79 million each, and the real break-even point is 56 years, not 6 or 7 years. Big difference. These public statements were false and misleading to taxpayers. I think it would be appropriate for Leon County Schools to make a public retraction and correction of these statements made by Scott Hansen. Not only did taxpayers get ripped off of these overpriced turf fields, but the public access to the high schools was taken away as a result of these fields being installed. The tracks had been enjoyed by the public going back decades. These tracks were a part of our community and contributed to the quality of life in Tallahassee for a long time. We had that taken away with no notice and no public input on the matter. I'm asking you all to come up with a plan to restore public access to the tracks in the near future. We can come up with a way to protect these turf fields while still allowing reasonable public access to the tracks. Thank you.
Thank you for your comment.